Hello everyone. Hope all doing good. Welcome to English session. Today we're going to start poem 3, The Temple and the Body. It's Vachana, which is meant for memorization. Poet is Basvanna. It is translated A.K. Ramanujam. So he is Basvanna. You can see a pic here. So he's called as a Basvanna. Basvanna was a great social reformer who strove to build a new social order free from caste, class, and orthodox. He was the leader of the medieval religious movement, and he was a very important poet in Kannada. That is Veera Saivism, of which the Kannada Vachanas are the most important text. If one were to choose a single poem to represent the whole extraordinary body of religious lyrics called the Vachana, one cannot do better than choose the above poem of Basvanna. It dramatized several of the themes and opposition characteristics of the movement called Veera Saivism, Akkama Devi, Alamma Prabhu, Devara Dasimaya are some of the other great Veerashaiva poets who write a poem like a Vachana. Glossary. Cupola, a small rounded dome. Thing standing, the solid or unmoving temple. The moving, human beings. Lords of the meeting river is Basvanna's chosen deity, that is Lord Shiva at Kondala Sangama. So this is on the glossary. So let's start our poem. The first stanza. The rich will make temples for Shiva. What shall I, a poor man, do? It's a very simple poem, so you can understand. The Basvanna is telling, okay, so he's just telling like the wealthy prove their love towards God by financing temples, right? Temples or church or mosque. Like if they are wealthy, if they are rich, right? They say the rich will make a temple for Shiva. So here he says, the poet says, the wealthy will prove their devotion or prove their love by financing temples or churches or mosque. Correct? The devotion is made up of stone and gold. How can you find out the love towards the God? So here the poet says that the rich people will show the love by financing temples, okay, and their devotion will be foundation, it will be in proof of stones and gold, okay. It is easy for a poor man witnessing the splendor of wealthy shrine to imagine himself for behind on the roads to heaven. What can he offer to compete with that? What temple can he build to offer a proper worship? So he is very simple, says that if as a poor man, I cannot afford, I cannot witness, I cannot finance a temple, right? I cannot give anything because I am a poor. So how can I show my devotion? How can I show my love towards God? It's a very simple thing. The rich will make temples for Shiva, the rich will make temples or church or mosque, or the rich will give the money. But what a poor man can do, how the poor man can show the love or devotion towards the God. The next stanza. My legs are pillars, the body the shrine, the head of cupola of gold. So here the poet gives us the solution. So in this line the poet gives a solution offered by saints everywhere, okay. So he says, he gave a solution that a rich man can do everything, but a poor can what a poor can do. So here the Basvanna gives solution saying that make of yourself a temple, make of yourself a temple. My legs are pillars, the body the shrine, the head of cupola of gold. So this is where all true meditation, prayer, communion occurs. So in your body, this is your body where you're going to turn your body into a temple. The built temple is but a reflection of temple of the self. Okay, you are already built. Nothing is there to build, nothing is there to make it of, right? But you are the only the reflection of temple, and the true temple is available at all, to all. So the true temple is the temple is not only where the stones are there, or where the shining things are there, or uh, bells are there, or big buildings are there. It's not like that. But here the true temple is available to all. It is not only for the rich, it is also for the poor. So rich also have the temple, and the poor also have the temple. So here the pillars are meant for the two legs. My two legs are the pillars. The body is the shrine, and head is a cupola of gold. Cupola of gold. So what did I say? Cupola of gold, meaning cupola of gold is nothing but a small rounded dome, right? So you will be having a cupola of gold. How the Shiva have that dome, same like that. Your legs are pillars. The body is shining, is the God body, and you have a dome on your head, which is of a gold. That's why he says, my legs are pillars, my body the shrine, the head a cupola of gold. The next stanza: listen, O Lord of the meeting rivers, things standing shall fall, but the moving ever shall stay. So here the Baswana carries it further. He says that, pointing at how far superior the inner temple. He says that outside temples, which you can see, okay, that is not superior, but what you have inside your body, right? That is a inner temple. Okay, things standing structure. Things standing is nothing. In the stanza you have learned things standing. Things standing is a structure built of wood or a stone, right? No matter how lovely or inspiring or destined to fall, right? If you see from outside, it will be too much colorful. The pillars I'm talking, which is made up of stones or woods, right? And it looks very beautiful, lovely, inspiring. But what will happen one day? It is supposed to be fall down. A temple of stone stands but does not move. Okay, so temple will be only in one place. A temple of stone stands but it does not move. Okay, and it lacks the life necessary to continually adjust itself to the shifting forces of time and gravity and the flow of nature all around. It's already crumbling. So here what happened? The life has to move on, right? Life has to move on. But here what is happening? The things are only standing. It's only one place. It's not moving from here to there. Okay, but the moving ever shall stay. The next line, but the moving ever shall stay. This, which animated the temple of the embodied self, has life. Okay, it dances with the flow of existence, and that life continues, right? Worship that takes place within that living temple lives as well and lasts. So if your body is a temple, whatever you learn, it will be last till the end of your life. It will be there. Okay, so in this poem we have learned that rich will make the temple because they have the finances. But what can we do? So you have to offer your body as a temple. You have to make your body as a clean, neat, where you can worship the Lord. So this is a very easy poem. So here's how the Baswana gave an example. Baswa's reminder to us: regardless of whether we worship beneath a golden cupola or beneath the arc of the open sky, only meditation and prayer and communion that take place within the living temple of the self matters. So here very easily says, whether you worship in a temple or whether you worship open area, the only thing required is meditation, prayer and the communion. Okay, because that is what I lives and lasts. That is how he was living. Wherever you are, whatever your role in your life, make of yourself a holy temple. More important, that monuments of stones are monumental living souls. So here he says that you have to make yourself a holy temple. You have to keep yourself neat and sinful, right? And you should be always humble, and you should always meditate, always pray, always be good with other people. That is how you can be a holy temple, and that is how you can show the true devotion towards your God. So I hope you understood this poem. It's very easy poem, and any doubts, please ask me. Thank you.